And the soaring tensions between India and Pakistan in the wake of the Pahalgam terror attack has impacted tourism in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir as well. The tour operators in PoK's Gilgit-Baltistan are complaining that the threat of war between Pakistan and India has resulted in significant losses for them. According to the Tour Operators Association estimate, each operator lost at least $50,000 to $80,000 in potential earnings due to the current situation, as several countries are issuing travel advisories, resulting in foreign tourists rapidly cancelling their tours, while around 1.5 million domestic tourists had visited the region last year. Furthermore, about 1,000 madrasas have been shut down in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir for 10 days, fearing strikes by Indian armed forces in the region. According to a Pakistani official speaking to Reuters, there's concern that India might target these seminaries due to allegations that they serve as military training organization. Meanwhile, PoK Prime Minister Chaudhry Anwar al-Haq announced the establishment of an emergency response fund with an initial allocation of 1 billion Pakistani rupees. He said all 13 constituencies near the LOC are fully prepared, with 2 months of stockpiles of food, medicine and essential supplies. PoK PM also informed that Disaster Management Agency, rescue teams and civil defense units have been asked to remain on high alert for any emergency. And joining us live on the broadcast is retired Lieutenant General Raj Shukla. He is a former Army commander and expert on strategic military affairs. Thank you so much, General Shukla, for joining us on the broadcast today. So let me begin by asking that ever since the gruesome Pahalgam terror attack, Pakistan has ramped up military activity, issuing naval warnings, conducting major drills, moving heavy weaponry to the LOC and the international border, and placing its air force on high alert. How should we decode this aggressive posturing?
I don't think this is aggressive posturing. I actually think that, Pakistan is on tenterhooks, and this is a feeble defensive response that it offers. And for two reasons. One is, terror has always been pretty central to the Pakistani statecraft. It has been the key tool in their statecraft. But this time around, on the 22nd of April, the attack crossed many paradigms in terms of, its sheer brutality, savagery, communal targeting, religious terror, the way, honeymoons were turned into funerals, fathers were gunned down in front of their children, so on and so forth. And therefore, they have left India with no option but to respond in a very strong manner. Now, we've taken a number of measures, from the Indus Water Treaty to visas, sanctions, closure of airspaces. But I think this time around, in the bevy of responses, calibrated military kinetics will follow. And Pakistan, at least their professionals, know the breadth and depth, the fire and fury of the Indian military. And I think they've asked for trouble, and they shall soon see, the power and weight of the Indian military. And all that you speak of are feeble defensive responses. You actually asked me, Pakistan is no military match to India's military power.
Right, General Shukla, and building on that, Pakistan is now looking to fire surface-to-surface ballistic missiles this week, which is seen as a reckless act of provocation and a dangerous escalation by Delhi. And officials have said that it's nothing short of a blatant provocation and a desperate attempt to whip up tensions with India. Now, international community has already expressed concern about the escalation over the region. So what's your assessment about that, and how do you foresee the situation developing going forward?
So, these are all acts of politico-military signaling, or you may even call them strategic military signaling. But what Pakistan should really bother about is this, that 8 or 9 or 10 days since the gruesome attack, I see no dilution in political solidarity across India, in national resolve, even local anguish. there has been an upsurge of anger against the Pakistanis in the Kashmir Valley. And therefore, you see that a few days back, the Prime Minister headed first the CCS, and then indulged in parleys with the Raksha Mantri and the defense top brass. So I think what is now happening is that the options are being explored in terms of domains, land, air, sea, cyber space, in terms of instruments, from what we have in the seas, from submarines to special forces to our pivot corps and our strike corps. Options are being worked out along the escalatory ladder. Perhaps debates are occurring with regard to conflict initiation, which will be the plank of decision, maintaining escalatory dominance. So I think a military strike, calibrated military strike, is going to follow to respond to that heinous act of terror. And this is all, signaling which is of really no consequence to deep and informed military minds.
Right, General Shukla, we'll closely monitor the situation and see how it develops. There's no option but to wait and watch. But thank you so much for joining us today on the broadcast and sharing your perspective with us.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.